guys, what's up? Alright, so I'm doing my fuel test. Lines are super dry. This has been holding, so we're in a really good spot. Now, those are the concerns. Obviously, by the fuel regulator, too, that was dry. Back here, which is a major concern. You can't see nothing, I know. But needless to say, it's right there, and it's not giving me a trouble. Let's go under the car so you can have a look at that. Oh shit. Oh boy. Okay. So this is where I put my line. Yeah, it's just stretching out the. I might even just tape that. I don't know. I don't care. But that's where my other connection is. I wanted to be sure that I wasn't having a problem, but it's not. I'm at 40 psi. No wet. These are my O2 sensors. I just have them obviously just out of the way for the moment. So, but yeah, we're good. Can't complain. Good. So fuel test done. It's on to the exhaust. Okay, so we definitely need to get those on. Did not do those today, or those, or that. Just got a little tired and carried away with other stuff. I did get the pipes on. So, oof. So you see the pipes are on. Yeah, some of it takes a lot of finesse. There's little bits that you have to do, and the pipes they're like pain in the ass sometimes. But to get the intakes on, I did sort out a better route for this vacuum line, because going underneath, when I put it back on, it pinched, and I'm not feeling that. So this one's super fluid. I don't have to worry about it. So everything else here is, again, super like wide turns on the vacuum lines. I don't want to fuck them up. I don't want to pinch them or anything like that. I'm just still so excited that I could see down there quite a bit. I mean, there's some things I can tuck away, but I mean, whatever. Everything else is just looking super clean. So tomorrow, plan of attack is to get that cooler on, get those on, and then I can get that on. So then once I get that on, what am I thinking? Well, there's nothing else underneath the car really, except for what I showed you there. We're getting super close. I'm feeling it. Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so let's get out of here for the night. Hey guys, what's up? So I got the front on. We're getting there. I could have done the wires right now, but I ran out of zip ties, so I gotta go to Walmart. I'm gonna get some oil too, so I can prime the engine with some cheap ass oil before we go on to the Schaeffer's. Like I said, I was gonna run this thing for about 100 miles on the shit oil. Not shit oil. I mean, it's gonna be synthetic oil and stuff, because I don't want to mix. I don't want to mix oils. But at the same time, it's not gonna be the optimal oil for the car. Go from there. I was gonna make a connector for that, but really, I mean, all I did was fucking run it through there, so I had to chop it. But I mean, I'm just not gonna run it through there this time. I'll mend that. That'll take me like a minute with some solder and you know, heat shrink, and go from there. So these filters, I was able to just make use of the factory muffler, like it's 90 degrees, so I said fuck it, and it looks like it works out pretty good. Same over here. I used the factory CC, or the valve breather hose, and ran it to an extension, and then boom. So let's see how that works out. The ergonomics of the fuel and all this shit, I mean, it looks kind of funny here, but when you look at it through here, I mean, you got a straight shot straight to the exhaust, so any air coming through the radiator or anywhere passing through the car is going to come through here. So that's extra cooling on this side. I wish you could say the same for this side. Fucking look at that. There's not much I can do about that, really. I mean, I could move stuff, but this hose literally, or this conduit is literally going down to my starter, and there's not a lot of wiggle room, so I can't fuck with that. I mean, these are my grounds. I mean, I don't know if there's much I can do there too. It's just a pain in the ass, some of this. But the answer, if I really, really want to get rid of it, to make some space to breathe a little bit better in here, would be to get rid of my AC lines. Again, it's something I've been toying with, but I don't want to do it just yet. I might actually just go back to doing it. I even pinched the line. You can see it right there. I fucking pinched that fucker. I don't know if that means it made a hole and it's going to have an issue. I have to replace it, but at this stage when I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so everything's kind of loose. I'll be tightening things up as I go. I definitely want to get that IC on before I have to go to Walmart. I'm going to get this reservoir on, and again, the wiring, I gotta wait. But for all intents and purposes, she's almost back together. You know, then it's just going to be all that fucking trim paneling and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, looking at that hose. So that used to be my fucking, before I put the twin turbo kit, that was actually ducting for my brakes. I can't do that anymore. I can't ram air duct it anymore because I just don't have any, the places where the hose used to go, it just doesn't go anymore. But for the intake, what I was thinking, so I was looking at it before, I think I was talking about in earlier videos. This is about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, something like that. I can fit maybe like either 1 or 2 1-inch tubes in here, and then just join it, like wire it off, and then have like a 2.5 that goes to the fucking to the nose. That way I have like straight air going into the intake system. And then you're like, yeah, what about the rain and the shit and this? But, you know, well, I don't drive this thing in the fucking rain, really. I mean, I take it out to track to beat the fuck out of it is what I do. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But otherwise, I'm getting fairly decent air to the intake. I mean, there's hot air coming from the rad, but, I mean, I put those vents there to try and kind of eliminate some of the, you know, some of the blockage there from the air. So it just keeps it like a clean setup in terms of trying to mitigate heat. Anyways, so that's where we're at. I'll have to fill it with clutch juice. I can't forget that shit. I'll have to get under there and do the transmission fluid and all that fun stuff. But before I do all that, we're gonna turn on the motor and see if the motor's turning over, see if I'm gonna have any issues. At first, it's gonna smoke because of the heat there, the titanium wrap, but that happened last time, so I know what I'm up against. But going from there. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I found a 3-way. Finally, I was looking for. I was like, shit, what am I gonna do about the 3-way? Because I was thinking of using that, but I shouldn't have used that because that's a bad reference actually. This is straight into the plenum, so. So I found it and I capped this off. I'm feeling better about that. And so once we have the fucking zip ties, that'll be on already. Oil, and man, I think I'm getting ready to turn this motherfucker on. Oh, I gotta put the power steering fluid too. I gotta fucking bubble that out too. Coolant. I think I'm ready for coolant too. Shit. Man, this thing's getting close to finishing. Alright guys, well, let me get that IC on. Let me tighten up a few things here and fucking I think we'll be ready to turn this car on soon. Talk to you later. Alright guys, so it's starting to look like a car. Got the headlight on. That's because I got all the fittings here sorted out, or the wiring dressed with some zip ties I had left over. But all this obviously needs zip ties, and there's some soldering I need to do in a couple spots. So that'll come. Anyways, everything else is looking pretty solid. That little extra filter, that looks pretty cool, but this one we have to cut back a little bit, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, everything else, fingers crossed I got everything sorted out. The batteries, man, I ran out of batteries, so I'm gonna pull the car up later and give it a charge, the Subaru, and I got a trickle charger coming on Tuesday. I used to have one, but I think I left it in the last place I was living, so that kind of sucks. So yeah, anyways, talk to you guys later. Alright, so I'm charging the batteries now, of course. It sucks that my battery had to die, but I thought, I had a trickle charger. I swear it, I had a trickle charger. It was from my old lawnmower, and I fucking left it behind somewhere. I don't know where I left it. But anyways, I'm not going to stress that right now. I just want to get some charge on the battery. The car is not happy right now. It is literally dead. It's not good for the fucking electrical system at all. So we're going to get that done. I'm going to get that light on. I'm going to start tightening some stuff down. I keep saying I'm going to do it. Well, I need to do it now, so we're going to do it. I'm going to give about 15 minutes and I'll park the car. At least I'll have it charged enough so that the car isn't freaking out. It's happier now. Well, anyways. That fluid is fairly to the... it's not tippy top, but it's enough where I can start the car. No, I need to bleed out some bubbles anyways, probably. So we'll see what happens. Go from there. Hey guys. Alright, so I started the car. And it sounded, I don't know, it sounded different. I want to say it sounded like a little bit rumbly and a little fucking loud. So the rumbly part could be a couple things. Obviously, it's the engine's been sitting. The oil needs to flow through it. I only had it running for like a second. It was loud, dude. Fuck. Now, that could just be me, because my ears aren't tuned to this car. This car's louder than my Subaru. My Subaru's stock. It's stock exhaust, stock everything. So this car just is a louder car. But either, if it is an issue with the exhaust, then it could be that the V-bands didn't seat properly, and I'm getting exhaust at the V-bands, or the headers just weren't tight enough. I tightened them to OEM, but maybe that just wasn't enough. So I just don't know. I just don't fucking know. We'll find out, that's for sure. I'll do it in the morning though. I gotta wait for people to wake up and stuff, and I got neighbors and that, so I do not want to piss off. But either way, I tightened a lot of stuff up here, but I'm gonna stop what I'm doing, because obviously if there's a major fucking problem, I gotta pull his motor out. So yeah, like if the headers are just making a lot of noise, I gotta fix that. I can't be driving around with the car. It's just fucking loud and spewing hot fucking gases in places that could cook my system. So, all right, guys, talk to you later. Guys, while she's running, she's got a misfired cylinder 6, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the plenum off, and I'm gonna double check all my clearances and torque on my spark plugs. Hopefully that's just it. Otherwise, I don't know. We'll have to have a look. Hopefully it's not the injectors. We check the electrical connections for the injectors as well, make sure everything's set. But yeah, otherwise she's running. She's doing what she's supposed to do. The only other DTCs that I found, or check engine codes, were basically related to the stuff that I have taken apart that don't have sensors hooked up. And I know my ethanol gauge is not giving me anything, so I gotta have a look at that too. But I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, what's up? So Man, I fought with this a little bit. I was having a problem with the fuel or the cylinder 6 having a misfire, and it turns out it was just a wire that was loose on the fuel rail. So I had to take all this shit off. Actually, took it off a few times because I had to problem solve a few things, and then I turned it on a few times, and then the last time, boom! It just sounds it's purring like it should. So, I guess tomorrow I'm gonna leave till tomorrow because I'm tired. I'll put the rest of the stuff on the car, and I'm gonna turn it on again. Make sure that it's still purring. I gotta get the clutch fluid in. I gotta get training fluid in. I gotta fix that oil leak, which I'm not gonna fix right now. I'm just not doing it. And I go from there. Boom.